Hello, I'm Rod Pinkston and welcome to another episode of Jager Pro. Our company just started our 14th year in business. So I dug into our video archive to assess how we operated then versus now, and came across some 2014 footage of our Pennahatchee Creek Project. I trained a young man by the name of Josh Webb as a Jager Pro intern from February through July of 2014. But he was not your typical 24-year-old. Josh had just finished 4 years in the Army as an Olympic shooter with the U.S. Army Marksmanship Unit. He needed something to do for 6 months while he was waiting for fall classes to begin at the University of Georgia. So I trained him to be a Hog Control Operator. Let's see if he was able to remove the last remaining pigs from this project using the most efficient process and products while I teach the art and science of integrated wild pig control. The Pennahatchee Creek Project was a 4,816-acre government contract. Jager Pro removed 624 feral pigs in 18 months between January 2013 and June 2014. This week's mission will focus on removing a sounder from the northeastern part of the contract during the 15th and 16th month. 2 different landowners reported rooting damage in their winter food plots. We strategically chose the north food plot as our primary trap location, since the south food plot offered more open area to conduct shooting operations and a better wind advantage, since winter winds were coming from the north. The north food plot was less than 100 yards from a 2-lane highway, which severely limited shooting operations. We scouted a perfect trap site in the southwest corner along the wood line. A feeder was erected on the afternoon of 13 May and was discovered the next morning by a hamp sow and her 2 pigs. The hamp sow returned the next morning with her offspring and an adult black boar. I received a photo 45 minutes later with 7 adults. The Poland China sow under the right feeder leg appears to be nursing. The hamp sow returns an hour later with her 2 pigs. For some reason, they're not feeding with the others. This pattern continued for the next 2 days, so we decided to move the feeder 20 yards off the food plot and closer to the tree line. These 6 always travel together in a sounder. There are 2 black and 4 spotted or Poland China, but I cannot tell if they are all females. This is the first photo we observed with the hamp sow feeding with the other 6. We still do not know how many piglets the Poland China sow is nursing. It's time to add a video camera to begin gathering intelligence that we are missing from only viewing photos. Adult boar in center frame has a black spot on his right front knee. Lean Poland China on the far right is actually a young boar, not a gilt as I assumed. Hamp sow and her 2 pigs are keeping their distance in the background. Traffic noise from the 2-lane highway is louder than I expected. Nursing Poland China sow is definitely the matriarch in this sounder. Several of our questions are answered in only 30 seconds of video. The hamp sow and her pigs are always in the background. Every sow takes a turn at chasing them off the bait site. Even the small Poland China gilt takes a swipe at the hamp juvenile boar. Watch his mama quickly move in to save him. The young Poland China boar decides to take advantage of the chaos. A second adult boar arrives at the bait site in the background. Notice the first adult boar has left the area. The nursing Poland China sow under the feeder is definitely the matriarch. But my observation shows the big Poland China sow, walking right to left, is second in charge. Her new nickname is Big PC. Let's count the number of piglets the matriarch is nursing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, with number 10 under the feeder leg. This is a large litter for a sow in the wild. The average birth rate is 6 or 7 for sows, and only 3 or 4 piglets during their first litter. It is always a good sign when a sounder feels comfortable enough to bed down and sleep at a bait site. Let's verify one more time that there are 10 nursing piglets. The same scenario happens every night, with a hamp sow and her 2 pigs arriving at the bait site first, only to be chased off within 10 minutes by the 6 adult sounder. The 3 hamp pigs are definitely treated as outcasts. We cannot expect to capture them at the same time as the other 16. We have established an automatic feeder as a daily food source during the month of March with an overnight temperature of 37 degrees. Sounder Intel verifies 7 adults and 12 juveniles for a total of 19. We have determined a single trained and certified hog control operator will employ the trapping process using a M.I.N.E trapping system. Our performance standard is 100% success, which means we must remove all 19 pigs, expending the least amount of fuel, time, labor, and money. Never count adult boars in your mission statement, as they are liable to be in the next county tomorrow night. Adult boars are bonus targets. Definitely put them on your hit list, but do not count them towards your definition of success when trapping. How long will it take to condition all 19 pigs to the trap enclosure? We'll find out when JAGER PRO returns. Developed by JAGER PRO and protected by 5 utility and design patents, the M.I.N.E trapping system was invented for whole sounder success. It is easily assembled or disassembled in minutes by one person. Gates contain no thresholds and are constructed with 2-inch by 4-inch welded 6-gauge steel. Gate openings are 40 inches tall by 8 feet wide, allowing adults to comfortably feed sideways. Double gate locations can be adapted to any trail scenario for capturing trap-resistant pigs. Our patented 1860 rigid trap panels are 8 feet wide and manufactured with 4-gauge galvanized steel, secured together by full-length steel connecting rods. All gates and panels are 68 inches tall, which make juvenile and adult escapes impossible. Base trap diameter is 35 feet and easily expandable to any size. Another unique trap feature is our design creates a 24 feet gate opening for pass-through baiting at each end. Daily intel is provided by our 4G LTE M.I.N.E camera. The JAGER PRO mobile app allows users to control camera information using an Android or iPhone. Gates can be triggered using a mobile phone, tablet, or computer for off-site captures, or can be triggered using our handheld remote for on-site captures. Our M.I.N.E trapping system is also designed to be highly portable. The M.I.N.E trailer is optional, which means it is not required to operate the trap. Only one trailer is needed to transport multiple traps into the field and easily pulls behind a truck or UTV. Our M.I.N.E trailer has many unique features, such as 8 pre-positioned ratchet straps to quickly and efficiently secure our trapping system for transport, a galvanized weatherproof tongue box to store control boxes, battery boxes, and cameras, the 8.5 by 5.5 foot bed with 3,500 pound axle and loading ramp makes it a multi-purpose trailer, capable of hauling 4-wheelers and performing many other field duties. The JAGER PRO M.I.N.E trapping system, setting the standard for high-tech whole sounder hog control. We built a double-gate M.I.N.E trapping system on March 25th and hand-baited corn with a bucket outside the left gate threshold, to the feeder, then outside the right gate. Always bait heavy the first night after building a trap enclosure. All 10 piglets arrive at 1718 on the 28th and begin feeding outside the right gate. They feed alone for 25 minutes and depart the right gate at 1745 when it began to rain. The piglets arrive at dusk alone the next morning, but this time they enter the trap enclosure through the left gate. Their mother cautiously approaches the right gate a few minutes later and vocalizes her disapproval of the situation. Why is she behaving in this manner? She was not born with a fear of metal contraptions. This is obviously a learned behavior. The explanation for cautious behavior is when pigs survive a previously failed attempt by an inexperienced person using a less effective product, such as these portable box traps with narrow gates using tripwires, which were littered across the entire project. Every farmer had welded their own version of these traps because they are cheap and portable. They certainly are not effective. I call these small portable box traps hog educators because they educate more feral pigs than they capture. The Poland China sow has observed her offspring feeding inside the trap enclosure for 2 days now, with no negative consequences. Hopefully, it is only a matter of time before she trusts it as a daily food source again. She is burning hundreds of calories daily by nursing 10 piglets. The upside, from a strategy standpoint, is the trap site offers an easy food source for a hungry sow who is already conditioned to the tripod feeder. All 10 piglets enter the left gate at 1:20 on the 30th. It is the third day they have fed alone under the feeder, as their mother's shadow appears at the gate. Finally, our nursing matriarch crosses the gate threshold. Now that she is committed, it should only be a matter of time before the remaining adults also trust the trap enclosure as a daily food source. The 2 black sows cautiously approach the right gate and watch the others feed. The young Poland China boar wastes little time entering the trap enclosure. Young and dumb definitely help speed up the conditioning process. The Poland China gilt follows her brother a couple minutes later, after a slight hesitation. 3 adults have committed, with 3 more to go. This black sow finally crosses the gate threshold for the first time at 1:40. It appears the second sow is about to follow, but cannot resist chasing a hamp pig. I would be very surprised to see the hamp sow attempt to enter the gate, especially after observing sounder behavior before our trap was built. We are still missing the other black sow and the Poland China I nicknamed Big PC. She must have also been previously educated by a box trap. She has avoided this location since the day trap panels were erected. The sounder departs the right gate after feeding for over an hour. I'm surprised to see them return a few hours later and enter the right gate at 6:23. 15 of 16 have conditioned to the trap as a daily food source, but there is still no sign of Big PC. Everyone has a full belly and feeling playful as the sun begins to rise. It is always a good sign when pigs feel comfortable enough to play or sleep around a trap enclosure. This little guy seems to enjoy spinning in circles. It is all fun and games until someone bashes their head against the gate frame. On a serious note, I'm concerned that Big PC is trap shy. We need to start planning an alternate baiting strategy to shoot her at a secondary location. We follow a heavily worn trail through the woods, which ends up at the neighbor's food plot. He was already experiencing previous rooting damage at this location. The plan is to spread a half bucket of shelled corn, then gather intel with an ice cam and video camera. A few minutes later, I also rebait our trap site with the remaining half bucket. We received this photo at 22:36 the next night from the south food plot. The spot on his right front knee joint identifies him as one of the boars on our hit list. Josh quietly slips into the food plot with the wind in his face and introduces the big boar to a Hornady 180 grain interlock bullet from 70 yards away. It is hard to beat a .308 caliber semi-automatic rifle topped with a 640 by 512 thermal scope and a handheld thermal monocular for spotting and stalking. 4.5 hours later, the same 15 pigs enter the trap enclosure with no sign of Big PC. However, I get the video confirmation I need 24 hours later. All 19 pigs, including Big PC and the hamp sow, are feeding at the south food plot. Josh, you have a green light to drop both gates the next time the 5 adults and 10 piglets step into the trap. Josh rebates our trap enclosure the next afternoon. All 15 targets are feeding contently the next morning at 5:17 on 3 April. There are no other adults outside the enclosure. Using the JAGER PRO mobile app, Josh drops both gates. Josh drives to the trap site and quickly euthanizes the sounder, using a suppressed .22 caliber rifle with 45 grain subsonic bullets. He displays them largest to smallest dress-right dress for photographs prior to collecting data for the harvest efficiency report. When we come back, we'll plan and execute the most efficient strategy to remove Big PC and all 3 hamps from the property. JAGER PRO has been the industry leader in hog control strategy, technology, and equipment since 2006. Our products are manufactured in the United States and distributed by our authorized dealers. We provide direct sales and service to both domestic and international customers. The JAGER PRO authorized dealer network has trained and equipped numerous government agencies, soil and water conservation districts, farmers, ranchers, landowners, and hunters. To locate the nearest JAGER PRO dealer, visit our website at jagerpro.com and click on the Dealer tab. Type in your zip code and click Submit. Select the authorized dealer closest to your location to obtain their contact information. You may also call the JAGER PRO corporate headquarters at 706-718-9789 or email us at info@jagerpro.com.
Thermal optics are an essential part of our hog control business. Many times you only get one chance to take an accurate shot downrange. Once you are ready to pull the trigger, we want you to be confident that your optic is zeroed and on target. At JAGER PRO, we carry and use all major thermal optic brands in the field. You can trust us when we give you a recommendation on which thermal is right for you. Once you make your decision, we can help you dial in your scope and answer any and all questions to make you more proficient in the field. Our staff of 10 retired soldiers with a combined 220 years of military experience is standing by ready to assist with any service needs after your purchase. Give us a call at 706-718-9789 or find us online at jagerpro.com. We look forward to helping you with your next thermal optic purchase.
The South food plot became a favorite food source for the survivors. The hamp sow often had her head buried at the bottom of the bait hole. Heavy rainfall did not change her approach 26 hours later, as her head is completely submerged. Feeding underwater was also demonstrated by this boar on the Flint River Project in 2018. Josh digs and fills another bait hole with corn at the same location on 8 April. All 4 survivors arrived together on the 10th, They seem to be traveling together and getting along, since the sounder of 15 was removed a week ago. Josh digs another bait hole on the 13th and intends to focus his efforts here this week. He receives a photo from the ice cam at 21:58 the next night and arrives at the south food plot within minutes to make a stalk into the wind. Big PC receives the first bullet, and food plot vegetation was too tall for follow-up shots. Josh burned his only opportunity to remove the hamps at the south food plot. The hamp sow and her 2 pigs had successfully avoided capture at the north food plot and now survived the south food plot bait hole. Strategically, we had positioned a dozen bait holes and feeders with ice cameras during the past 16 months of operation. The hamp sow led her 2 pigs southeast along this path to a third food plot. Luckily, Josh received this photo 90 minutes later of all 3 pigs standing in the bait hole. He immediately took advantage of a golden opportunity to make a second stalk on the hamps and prove his shooting talent. Josh succeeded at his mission by removing all 3 hamps and Big PC in the same night. But we still have another adult boar on our hit list from video intel on 20 March. Josh continues to work our baiting plan through April and May in 25 strategic locations. This young boar made a fatal mistake on May 1st, which gives Josh just enough time to close the distance. He dug a new bait hole at this location on 21 May, and our hit list boar finally visits a week later on the 28th. Congratulations to Josh for having the patience and discipline to work our plan and remove the last boar from our hit list. I'll remind everyone about the sounder intel of 19 from our original mission. Josh removed all 19 targeted pigs in 3 different events, plus 3 additional adult boars for 100% removal success, with a go in all measured areas. This week, we demonstrated how a trained and certified hog control operator was able to remove an entire sounder of trap-resistant pigs. We reinforced the importance of making performance-based decisions to select the most efficient process and products to accomplish mission success. Eliminating the entire sounder prevents any pig from escaping, surviving, reproducing, or being educated to our integrated wild pig control approach. Josh is an excellent hog control operator and one hell of a shooter. Your long hours and attention to detail helped make Pennahatchee Creek a successful project. Thank you. He left for college shortly after our project to study wildlife biology and earned his master's degree from the University of Georgia. Josh is now the Conservation Stewardship Coordinator for Tall Timbers Research Station in Tallahassee, Florida. Best of luck to a fellow soldier and shooter. Thank you for watching this week's episode of JAGER PRO, the art and science of integrated wild pig control. Army trained, combat tested, farmer approved. We'll see you next week. Call or visit us on the web to purchase the latest equipment or learn more about the process and products needed to eliminate feral pig populations on your property. Be sure to visit our YouTube channel to view our entire instructional video series. Once online, keep clicking and like the JAGER PRO Hog Control Systems Facebook page. If you have a story idea or just want to leave us a comment or suggestion, feel free to email us at info@jagerpro.com.